Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. What we're gonna be talking about today is tips for cooking in cold weather. Last time I made a video about how to cook with green wood, and a lot of people were asking me to make a video about tips on cooking in cold weather. And today in Chicago, it's about 20 degrees and it's not super windy, but there is a slight breeze. So it's a little bit uncomfortable outside, which is why instead of giving you these tips right by the smoker like I did last time, I'm doing this inside because I don't want to be standing out there. So tip number one is kind of something that I say everyone should do no matter what cook you're doing, but especially in cold weather, is start your fire early. Before you brush your teeth, before you grab your cup of coffee, do whatever you do at the first thing in the morning, I would highly recommend you going outside and getting that fire started, because it just makes it so much easier to deal with a hot pit. And if that means you have to wake up extra early to do so, you know, just do it. I think one of the things that I had to do a lot when I was doing pop-ups and having to do really long, overnight cooks or wake up super early is I would just start the fire and then I would go back to sleep on the couch and then make sure I set an alarm so I didn't miss the next time I had to, hit the fire. To me, it's just one of those things where it's gonna be a long day, it's gonna be a cold cook. Like, getting that first step done just helps you kind of move forward. Tip number two is closely connected to tip number one, and that tip is to get your smoker hot. And what I mean by that is I'm not just talking about what your thermometer says, I'm talking about getting the entire smoker itself hot. The one thing I like to do to make sure it is hot is make sure I put my hand on top of the cooking chamber door to see that it's not cold anymore. I feel like a lot of times people are trying to hit that target temperature or cooking temperature, and it doesn't allow for enough time, which again, you want to start cooking earlier or start the fire earlier. And for me, it's kind of like the concept of preheating your oven, but your oven is outside in the elements and you want to make sure that the whole thing is kind of preheated and ready to go. Tip number three is to cook hotter. And this is kind of subjective, because if I'm talking about cooking hotter in colder weather, I'm not just talking about it being like 40 degrees outside. I'm talking about where it's like 15 to 20 degrees outside with wind chill and it's really cold. In those kind of situations, I'm thinking to cook anywhere between 15 to 25 degrees hotter, at least on my pit. It's gonna be it'll be a little bit different for yours. And the reason why I'm saying to cook hotter is you gotta think about what's actually happening. Is your pit is still drawing in a lot of air and hot air because you're cooking hotter, but because it's cold outside, it's also pulling in a lot of cool air. And with that in mind, because you're pulling cold air, you wanna kind of combat that by cooking a little bit hotter to kind of almost balance out that cold air being pulled in. Tip number four is to only open your smoker when you absolutely have to. And also to be really quick with closing the door as soon as you're done with whatever job you have. Every single time you open that smoker door, you're letting all that hot air out. Even though the metal itself will be still pretty hot just because, we're preheating the entire thing, but the actual air that is cooking the meat that's moving around is no longer hot. So that's why for me, it's always like you wanna hit certain milestones when you cook. You don't wanna kind of go in and just kind of guess when certain things should be done. And this is gonna come from experience and cooking the same piece of meat over and over again on your particular smoker to kind of know, like, all right, at this time, I know I'm probably gonna need check for X, Y, and Z. And because of that reason, and because I'm used to cooking in colder weathers, that's why I kind of taught myself not to worry about things like spritzing or filling up water pans, because if that is a crucial part of your cook, you're having to open that door up pretty frequently to spritz or refill water and things like that. And it really does slow down your cook when it's cold outside. So if your cooking style is to, spritz and do a lot of opening and closing your door to check on stuff, I would say continue to do so on normal weather days. But when it's cold, I would just kind of challenge yourself a little bit to spritz less, or to look for other checks, or maybe worry about your fire a little bit more so you don't have to worry about it drying out. Like, there are other things that you can do so that you can make sure you can keep that door closed your entire time or majority of the time. Tip number five is to be ready to move your food quickly. What I mean by that is when your food is done, you want to make sure that you can bring it in as soon as possible. Let's say if you have a lot of small little pieces like chicken wings or ribs that might be finishing at different times, like briskets finish at different times and things like that. Like, you don't want something to be done and then you're running back inside to go grab something to pull it off. You want to have everything kind of ready to go. This is one of my biggest examples of, when we cooked beef ribs in Chicago. I think it was around November or October, something like that. It happened to be really, really cold that night, and we cooked beef ribs and they were perfect when we pulled them off, but we didn't have space to wrap them inside, so we had to do it on a folding table outside. And while we were doing that, the beef ribs just seized up and the chill of the air just kind of like changed the texture of it, and the intermuscular fat started to turn a little bit white. So and it wasn't just because we cut into it and then we left it out. It was literally when we cut into that first rib, like we saw that there was that fat that normally is rendered almost kind of chilled out a little bit. It still ate fine, but it just wasn't as good as it should be. So with that, I would just say just have all your equipment ready to go, whether it's trays, plates, cutting boards, you want to have it ready. Tip number 6 is close related to 5, and this is personally for me because I use a lot of trays to move food around, is to not leave your tray outside. If you leave a metal tray outside because your food is almost ready to be done, and you throw on that really hot beef or brisket or rib on that super ice cold tray, it's the same idea as just leaving it exposed. It's gonna seize up and it's gonna change the texture of it. I think a lot of people nowadays understand the importance of meat being rested properly, where it's slowly coming down in temp, like internal temperature. And you putting food onto a cold tray like that is doing it in a drastic way, which is not a good thing when you're trying to get the right texture. So what I'll do is I'll leave the trays or whatever I might need just on a table closest to the door to the backyard, because whenever it's ready, I can just run out, just reach and go grab it and go back to the smoker and have everything be at the temperature it needs to be. All right, so last tip is to stay inside. Obviously, if you're cooking on site somewhere, you can't really do that because you just have to deal with the elements, and that's why, cooking on different locations or catering with barbecue is difficult sometimes. I do feel like there are some people who are on Instagram or on YouTube who just want to show people I'm a badass, I can cook no matter what the conditions are, and then they sit with their feet propped up next to their firebox and they sit there for 12 hours in the bitter cold. To me, that's just dumb. If you don't have to do it, why do it? Because I've cooked in so much cold weather before, and I've done that before because I had to. It's just not fun, I like cooking barbecue because it's fun, but I hate doing it when it's cold outside. Your body is using so much energy just to try to keep yourself warm. And so when you decide to sit outside all day long, to me at least, all I'm thinking in my head is okay, how do I get this cook to be done faster? When you're worrying about that and not just worrying about making sure the cook is perfect, your stuff just doesn't come out as good as it needs to. And that's why cooking barbecue in cold weather just in general is harder, just because there are other factors now that you have to think about. But the one thing that I don't want to think about is I feel miserable because I'm sitting outside when I don't have to be. So don't be a hero, come inside, stay warm. You can have your coffee inside as well. You can put your feet up inside too. You don't have to sit out there. No one's out there taking pictures of you. Yeah, that's just my opinion of it. All right, guys, so that's the end of this video. Let me know what are the tips that you guys use during the cold weather. I know there's a lot of people who cook in the Midwest, and I'm pretty sure have other tips other than the ones that I've shared. And if you guys like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. I'll leave 2 videos up here for you guys to check out as well that I think will help you if you enjoyed this video right here. See you guys next time.